Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Thomas Patrick, and welcome into this KREM 2 Plus live stream for a day that could see potential thunderstorms after getting a bunch of morning rain here. It is Monday, April 7th, recording this at just about 11:20 in the morning, so we're just a few minutes away even from our News at Noon broadcast, but we want to give you an update just first and foremost of any thunderstorm potential for today. It's not a severe weather threat, and actually we're not even under a weather impact alert day, but weather is just kind of this early spring thunderstorm activity that could keep us honest into the afternoon hours. So we wanted to give you the first warning of anything that might be happening later on today. But of course, waking up this morning, it has been soaking wet. I think the rain started just after 3 o'clock, which is about when my own alarm goes off. So I heard the rain outside as I was getting ready for work this morning, and you probably were as well. So the rain this morning has been just that. Rain, mostly light and moderate. Obviously nothing we can't deal with, but a bit of an annoyance, especially for all the commuters getting sprayed on their commute. But the afternoon could see a chance, though it is just a chance, for these scattered afternoon thunderstorms. And that's what we're going to focus primarily on for this particular extended weathercast, if you will, just going over a lot of the nit and gritty details, but also taking our time, making sure that we can go hour by hour to help you plan around that for today. So here's what we had. Like I said, it's about 11:20 in the morning, and as we approach the noon hour, well, this cold front is approaching us at the moment. It has been just gliding eastward pretty slowly, but it has quite a bit of moisture certainly attached to it. I wouldn't be surprised if our rain totals are going to amount to about 1/4 of an inch by the end of the day today. But the bulk of this rain has really already fallen this morning, but as the air gets a little bit more energetic and destabilizes thanks to some colder air that is aloft, we're talking about the mid to upper layers of the atmosphere, as that gets colder, then that temperature difference between the ground and the upper atmosphere, when that's more severe, that's where instability comes from, and that gives us a chance for convection and thus thunderstorm chances. And when we get thunderstorms, obviously that means some more intense rainfall at minimum. At the moment, here's the latest on Doppler radar. I can tell you that we've had probably about 2 bouts of some slightly heavier rain embedded in what's been 8 or 9 hours worth of just steady rainfall all day long today. One occurred at about 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning. The second was a bit closer to 10 o'clock in the morning. Since then, it's getting a little bit lighter over Spokane here. Coeur d'Alene actually getting some of the slightly heavier stuff at the moment. So this looks to continue for about another hour or two here, where you see some of these little yellow shades and even orange. That would be the more moderate rainfall. And no thunder, no thunderstorms attached to this just yet. Just a soaking rain, if anything. So that's the first wave of the rain that's passing through. And honestly, it looks like this wave is going to end in about an hour or so for Spokane, an hour to 2 for Coeur d'Alene, and then once the air dries out, it gets a chance to get some energy, almost like recharge, before we get a second wave of rainfall or scattered showers or scattered thunderstorms later on. Right now, the airport reporting 48 degrees. The temperature has not really budged at all since this is a cold front passing through. Still mild from the morning hours, but it's not really going to climb anything for today. We probably get into the 50s once we get at least a moment of some drier weather. But the airport's actually not reporting any rainfall at the moment, so it's really starting to thin out quite a bit. Now we look at the thunderstorm chances, and is this a severe chance? And the answer is no. We are not at all on the severe weather scale. You just see this lighter green shade that covers the inland northwest. That is what we would call a generic thunderstorm chance. Severe weather is defined by either having strong winds or large hail, of which we're not going to get to either of those classifications. Some gusty winds and small hail is possible, but not to the damaging thresholds that would prompt a severe weather outlook. So we're not under a marginal risk or slight risk, just a general thunderstorm risk for today. I'm going to break this down even further because I wanted to go over what areas of the inland northwest have a higher chance for thunderstorms overall, because it is going to be scattered. It's not widespread like it was this morning, where our rain chance, of course, was 100%. In this case, it's more about the area and those potentials for the thunderstorms and the scattered activity. So when we look at this, it is really more about just these percentages here. It is 40% for south. Kind of in that region of the inland northwest and in Washington is where those storms will actually form and fire up in the first place. And that's why that southeastern Washington corridor and quadrant has a slightly higher chance for thunderstorms overall as we look at it. Now, it's not an impossibility that it could flip-flop and be the other way around, but that's just kind of how the percentages and the probabilities stack out. Here's what to expect in terms of this generic and general. Oop, looks like I tapped the, sorry, I must have tapped the mute button there. Going over, again, our storm timing here, we've been solidly through the rain part of things, but for this afternoon, things will be at around 2 p.m. to 8 o'clock, more scattered, more isolated, but could be more intense at the same time. So that is what we are monitoring there. Okay, now we're going to go through Future Tracker, our computer model simulation of where these thunderstorms are going to spawn, and we'll walk it through hour by hour. So we'll stop the time frame at 4 o'clock this afternoon. First of all, it does have it near Moses Lake, but I do think it forms a little bit closer to that Ritzville to Tri-Cities, Ritzville to Walla Walla line, but that is kind of the quadrant that we're looking at first of all, especially between about 2 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then we'll go to 6 o'clock. Now it is basically right on our doorstep in Spokane. I would say 5 to 6 o'clock would be the timeline for any storms kind of in our vicinity. It'll be a little bit more likely closer to Pullman and Lewiston, but obviously you see some of those red spots there. Discrete, individualized cells have a better chance of being more intense by themselves than if we are just clobbered with a widespread rain event. In fact, that is the big comparison between this morning where it is just completely a washout, but there's no pockets of heavier rain. Here we get the opposite. The spots that do get the rain basically hog all that energy all by themselves, and that's why they can have some greater intensity and strength to them. By 8 o'clock, that thunderstorm chance is winding down. You see kind of me covering up a bit of the thunderstorm activity, which should just be heavy to moderate rain at that point where those are spawned, but that's basically it. That's when we start to wind down. So again, that timeline and time frame is about 2 to 8 o'clock in the afternoon today. That is when we are expecting any kind of thunderstorm activity, albeit scattered. Temperature-wise, not as warm as it was yesterday, as you can imagine. Yesterday was 68 degrees. Today, about 10 degrees cooler, in the upper 50s and even mid 50s, depending on where that rain is going to hold on to. And a little bit of sunshine that could peak out in the early afternoon might give us that boost from where we're at so far this morning. So quick. That is a potential here where we have some rain in the morning hours, just a chance for rain and thunder into the afternoon here. Beyond that, the next really nice day is going to be Thursday. That's when we're going to jump back up into the upper 60s. That will feel a lot like it did on Sunday, where those temperatures are getting pretty close to 70 degrees. So that's your quick look at the 7-day forecast there. And again, we are tracking rain this morning and some scattered showers into the afternoon here. You can join us on the latest on KREM 2 News at noon, which is in just 30 minutes here. And of course, for any updates, you can always give me a follow on social media at ThomasPatrickWX. Make sure to stay tuned to KREM 2 and KREM 2 Plus for all the latest on any weather impact that we have or alert days that we may issue in the future. Until then, have a great rest of your Monday, everyone, and I will see you later on today.